Quora has a massive predator problem and almost no one is talking about it. If you don't know what Quora is, it's a question and answer website that has 400 million monthly users. Although it is not as widely referred to as other social platforms like Reddit or Twitter, it is still massive, and I don't think a lot of people realise just how many individuals actually use the site. And with a lot of users, there is bound to be a dark side. But the fact is that it has been a prominent problem for years. Back in 2021, I actually made a video on this site. I won't put you through the torture of having to endure a narration of mine that old, but I'll quickly show you one or two clips of what I found back then. During my time making the original video, I found a lot of groups that were focused on relations with their own family, or just generally speaking weird about people who were teens or even preteens, asking questions such as, how do I ask my mother to do this sexual act with me? And I don't think I need to tell you how disturbing that is, but it really all started to get even worse when I found one group in particular called Family Taboo, because not only was this focused directly on the incest, but it was focused on younger members of people's families, and there were a lot of contributors, and the group alone had over 1,000 members. And it seemed like some people were doing it on their main account because they had their workplace details, their education details. If someone wanted to track these people down, then they certainly could. One person in particular, called Carl Powers, would repeatedly post naked pictures of his own daughter. While she was over the age of 18, the comments on these posts were still absolutely disgusting and trying to just fully encourage what he was doing. And then one post in particular really caught my attention. It was someone asking what would happen if a boy asked a single mum how to himself. One of the top answers was made by a man called Kenneth Williams, and this would be a focus of most of the video because his account was by far the most disturbing that I came across. But another answer that I focused on was one by a person called Andy, and they said that their mother had taught them when they were a nudist family and they were always and walking around with that being down there. It's really hard to say some of this stuff and stay within YouTube guidelines. But yeah, back to Kenneth. He was one of the main focuses of that video because I found a lot of posts where he would basically first over underage girls. And a reminder that this man was certainly a full adult at this point. So he was basically putting his predatorial tendencies on full show. Now, I'm sad to say that nothing has improved. If anything, I would say that the problem has gotten much worse, with thousands of predators calling Quora their home. I made a brand new account on the site to find out just how bad the problem truly was, and it didn't take long for me to make my way down the rabbit hole. For clarification, I used a Firefox extension that removed every image and video from every website. I always use this, and while I don't recommend that you go out of your way to find this stuff, if you do end up coming across something that you suspect may be disturbing, then I highly recommend you use a similar extension. But all it took was one simple scroll of my Quora home feed to find the first disturbing post. Okay, I wasn't planning on recording this part of the video right this second because I was setting up a decoy account and going to find some spaces that one of you guys told me about, but oh my god, I've never really been on Quora, right? It's kind of that place where if it pops up in your search results, I'm actually doing anything not to click on it. But as soon as I made my account, it immediately started recommending me what I can only describe because it quite literally is, and I will have to blur it. So literally the first post in my timeline is just someone's nude. And then if we scroll down, we've actually got a really disturbing post that someone's made where they say that their 15-year-old daughter has been recently taking cucumbers out of the fridge and into her bedroom, and then returning them to the fridge later on, and they're all wrinkled and squished after the return. So then the person who made the post follows up by saying that they made their cucumber salad and they thought that the cucumber tasted like chemicals or lotions. We can all see what they're getting at here. This post has 7 million views, 4,000 upvotes, and yeah, Is it just me that thinks this is a bit of a dodgy post? The comments seem to be giving genuine advice, which I suppose is like the purpose of Quora, but some of the comments are really disturbing, and there's a lot of comments, so obviously I can't show all of them, but someone said, "Is this a joke?" To which someone else replied saying, "Don't know, but I'm hard as hell right now." Can we just remind the Stagshorn guy that this is a 15-year-old? He only has 3 followers, and I don't really think I want to see any of them. And to be honest, I don't even think this is someone with this actual problem, right? I genuinely think that this person is just looking for internet points from perverts, because on their profile they have other posts like this where they say that their 15-year-old stepson is stealing their underwear. But wait, there's more, because we've also got this one saying, "My husband is spending a lot of time with his young apprentice. My husband is a well-known contractor in our area, but this time it's a 21-year-old very good-looking guy who my husband has gotten very close with." Even the profile is a bit dodgy. You know, we've got a photo which doesn't really look real with the name "Mom is over it." So say it with me, guys, we've got a pervert on our hands. I don't know why this is being recommended to me now either, because this was posted 7 months ago, so like imagine this was an actual minor who made an account on Quora. Don't know why they would, you know, get their head checked out, maybe send them to cams, but why would this immediately be recommended to someone? There is a setting in the setting that you have to tick to show adult content. I don't know if this content actually falls under it, but again, there's no really any checks. I literally clicked one button and it was done. It confirmed I was an adult, even though blatantly on my profile I say that I am 15. Now, believe it or not, this isn't the first time I've made a video on Quora, because years ago, back when I first started this channel, I actually made a video on it. It's not on this channel anymore, but it's still available on Spotify. However, the narration is absolutely horrendous, and I would not recommend that you listen to it. But we went over a lot of spaces in that, and it's really disturbing how many predators are taking over what should simply be a question and answer site. So let me show you just how easy it is to actually find these spaces. Okay, so I've gone through and compiled some really concerning accounts, and I don't even think I really need to explain this, because let me just show you. And let me just clarify, there's this brilliant extension. I use Firefox, so it's on Firefox. It's called Block Image and Video. It's really good. Whenever I'm not sponsored, I swear I'm not sponsored, but if you're ever doing anything that you may not want to see the content of, then definitely install this, because it's literally a lifesaver. So we've got a lot of accounts which are very blatantly minors, just posting very concerning comments about themselves. And one of the main problems is not only that they're doing that, but they all have hundreds and hundreds of followers. We'll take this guy for example. His name's Noah and he has 575 followers, and in one of his posts he reveals that he is years of age. We're gonna get into some of his followers in a bit, but for now let me just show you some other profiles. We've got this person here who I'm not gonna say the username of because it will be too easy to find, and obviously I don't want any of you guys searching this stuff up. But in his bio he has DM for age, he gives out his Snapchat, and also says that his DMs are open for trades. If you don't know what trades are, basically in this world it means trading a nude picture, let's say, for another nude picture. And that is very disturbing, especially because in this case, he could blatantly be advertising the fact that he is trading CSAM. Whether it's self-generated or not, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, it is still that content. And all of these accounts were brought straight to the feed of this brand new user. They came from a thread called this, where the question is, what does a teenager's sweaty armpit hair look like? Only boys. And that, to be honest, should just give you the extent of exactly what's asked on Quora, and how utterly perverted some of the users are. Because it has a lot of posts, and disturbingly, I actually think all of them are underage. We've got this person here who in their bio they say that they are one reversed. I think we all know what that means. They say DM to trade, again this trading language, and they give out their Telegram and also their Instagram. This account has been deactivated according to Quora, but we can still see all the contents of it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really not clued up on how exactly this works, but if any of you guys can educate me, if you're an avid Quora user, then please tell me. But disturbingly, he has replied to a question of, can I see your parts down there. And he even puts in the answer saying, Quora, I'm 18. When just one look of his profile would reveal that that is nothing but a lie. And just imagine if this was a genuine new user, right, who put adult content on. Maybe they were over the age of 18. They go there and they get content like this fed directly to their feed. If they weren't using a plugin like I am, which they probably wouldn't be, especially if they were coming to Quora to get their kicks, then they could be potentially exposed to actual CSAM like this, and that's something that no one has to see. And like I say, an incredibly disturbing part of this is that all of these accounts have so many followers. Because look, I could show you this problem and you might be going, oh well, you know, these are just a few users, but sadly the reality is that it's much larger than that, and this has been going on for over 4 years, as shown in my video all that time ago. This is yet another platform that is essentially refusing to moderate a very massive problem. And the problem is, as shown by one of these users who has 2010 in their name, they say that they would show their abs but they don't feel like being banned again. I feel like I repeat myself in every single one of these videos, but is it so hard for platforms that are clearly big to just stop repeat offenders from coming back? It happens on Twitter, it happens on Tumblr, it happens on Roblox, and now Quora? I know nothing about web development or development of a social platform, right? But surely it can't be that hard to stop banned users for extreme reasons like CSAM from coming back to your platform? And not only does this 2010 person say that they don't feel like being banned again, but they have their Discord linked in their bio, and they say that they have fun, that they trade, but also that they cam. Camming, if you don't know what it is in this world, it basically means getting on camera with someone, as the name indicates, and getting off with them. And this person has over 100 followers with 4,000 views on their posts this month alone. And this whole I'd show but I don't feel like being banned again, that indicates to me that they're leaving this comment not because they genuinely want to share that information, but because they are hoping that people, potentially predators or people their age, I suppose, but I genuinely think that a lot of the people looking at this are definitely predators. I'm assuming that they want those people to get in touch with them. And we know that that happens, and that's because of what one of you guys shared with me. So this person said in their email that they actually used to post on Quora when they were under the age of 18. They said that they did it to see if creeps were on there and if they would contact them, and yes, it's safe to say that the creeps certainly did get in touch. And of course, as this viewer highlights in the email, there is also certainly the possibility that these are predators pretending to be children in order to get in touch with other minors so they can then trade illegal content with them. It's a disturbing tactic that is commonly used by predators, and I think this is another case of where we're seeing it. They also highlighted in their email that they believe this is a huge issue, and like I've mentioned, with how long this has actually been going on, I would be very inclined to agree. And really the only proper mention I could find of this was someone making a petition asking Quora to protect its users from sexual predators and exploitation. This petition has 1,000 signatures on it, and someone's left a comment saying that someone needs to stop these monsters because they will never stop. If we all want to be safe, all of us have to take action, and that is very, very true. It's hard for small creators like me to see this, try raise awareness about the situation, but realistically, these are massive companies who aren't really going to listen. My hope with this video is that a much bigger creator, journalist, or someone in power sees it and can actually help make real change. Because Quora aren't going to listen to me or you. They'll only listen if someone with power and influence tells them to change. But it's safe to say they have a massive problem, and them not listening in the first place is incredibly messed up. And all of these posts also have a lot of upvotes, but not only the posts, the comments, the questions, all of them. And we can see who exactly has upvoted these comments, so at least these predators are being exposed to an extent, but it doesn't matter if they're exposing themselves if no one's going to listen. So if your child uses Quora for some reason, then please keep a very close eye on them, because this is one of the most prevalent and most dangerous predator problems that I have seen. We've spoken a lot about predators on this channel and how they operate, and this is just another example of the absolutely disgusting things that they're willing to do. And also, let me just clarify, my last video was on the Online Safety Act, and Quora does not fall under that, because I don't have my VPN on, and at no point have Quora asked me to provide an ID to prove that I'm over 18. In fact, they also didn't ask me for a birthday now that I think about it, so yeah. They'd never ask you for your birthday, actually. That is insane. And I guarantee that if I left this account with a post, then I would get predators trying to contact me. And you know what? I might just do that, because I genuinely believe that these people need to be taken off of the streets immediately. It's so dangerous that we can never really truly know what someone's internet activity actually is. Because for all you know, your friend, your co-worker, they could be on Quora partaking in this disturbing activity. But hey, I'm hoping that you don't know any freaks like that, because I trust all my friends to not be perverted or criminals. But thank you very, very much for making it to the end of this video. Again, a very, very important one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share the video to get the message out there, and also to support the channel. Let me know in the comments what you think of this Quora ring and if they'll ever actually do anything. And you can follow me on social media. I have Instagram and Blue Sky, and if you want to get involved in the community, you can join my Discord server with the link in the description. And thank you very much to my Patreon supporters and YouTube members: Brooke, Entrepreneur, Maury Gann, K4 Silver, Alex Rod, Basefinger, Camilla, Shoshka, Frozen Roses, Midnight Kitty, Colette Key, Moonbird, and Briar. Thank you very much, guys, for your continued support. I really appreciate it. I'll be back very soon with another video, but if you want another right now, then YouTube thinks that you'll like the video that's on your screen.